put like a timeline together. They'd be like, oh, okay, so guess what, Camelot, if the last time I saw him in person, I had never heard of these people, Aaron and April. I never
Yeah.
heard of these people before.
By the
See,
way, Aaron Imholte's the only person that could have ever done anything, by the way, for people
probably.
that are like actually wanting to like be angry at a person. That's the guy was literally there doing the stuff at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you weren't physically there, it's like, yeah, what do you want me to do? So yeah, I wasn't there. Cody wasn't there. None of the YouTubers that you see were there. So I didn't get to tap Nick. Yeah, like that. I love when people like interject that stuff. Some trolling, some not so much. But yeah, in a world where internet anonymity would be erased, I think people would be talking way different. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the same people because you and I both know this, Cody. A lot of this is projection. When someone's like, "Oh, you should have done this," Cody, you're a fat ass, you're a loser, and then
You can send a text and be like, "Hey, are you all right?" And that's that's kind of like, especially if I live 1,000 miles away, like that's all you can do is send a text and be like, "Hey, man, you all right?" And it's usually either not responded to or it's, "Yeah, I'm fine," and then that's the end of it. You can't do anything. People think you have power, especially over like addiction. You don't. Like no one does.
I'm
Except
still
the individual. So would you, if you saw anything happening with children, would you have reported it? Something like that.
yeah, because that's why I said like that's because it's a pending issue. I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, in general, if I see something that's happening that is like just out of bounds, man, you have to. Because here's the thing: if there are people who are mandatory reporters,
Yeah.
who they have to, right, like on the spot, and when you are not that, you wind up in a very bizarro scenario, right? Because like think about it, Cody. Let's say you have a brother, and you see something that's out of that's out of bounds. If you report it in there, it could bring up a family and stuff. So
Yeah.
it puts you in that weird like, what's right? Because is this a one-off, right? Is it a one-off thing? Is it you don't know? It is tough. It's very tough because, like I said, when you're on the outside looking in, you don't ever, first of all, you never expect to be in these situations, right?
Yeah.
No one ever talks about that because when someone says, "Hey, Cody, what about X?" Well,
I feel like I'm very, very like level when I react to things. I don't like yell or freak out. But there's some commentators that have been covering the situation and they can start screaming. Like it's performance, obviously. And
yep.
those are the people that, like all the wave of people that are angry or like use it for entertainment, they support those people because they are looking for that reactionary content. That's the whole point for them. They want people screaming. They want Drex to come on and be like, "I'm just fucking devastated, and I'm just here's what happened."
Oh yeah,
That's what they want.
That's cute.
And people will they'll get mad. So, like for example, like when I first started talking about this, because I had never really intended on it, but when I first started talking about it, I was not positive. I wasn't overtly negative either. I was just like, Nick needs to go to rehab, get help, and he needs to fucking take the bull by the horns and do what he needs to fucking do to be successful and try to come out this on the other side, take his licks, and be better as a person as a result. That's what I'd like to see. And but I also said, like, he's a lot. And people were like, "Man, you're sweeping." And I'm like, what do you want me to say? Like, and that's where there's the question I asked somebody in chat that super chatted something. They were like, "You're just sweeping, blah blah blah." And I was saying these things when they said this, and I was like, "What do you want? Like, what is the outcome you want?" My outcome is, I hope a family is better as a result after all of it breaks down. Whatever happens, and then at the other end of the tunnel, it's a positive result. That's what I would like to see. And I'm like, what do you want to see? Because I don't understand what you're trying. What do you want me to say? You want me to say I want him dead? I want him to be shot. I want him to be killed. Like, what do you
ever notice though? They don't like to answer, like the same people who say like you're not answering the question the way I want you to answer. When you ask them, so what is it that you want? That's when they seem to struggle, right? Okay, for the people out there who want like bloodshed and stuff, it's like, okay, so what do you want your end goal to be, right? What is like the end result you want to be? Do you want someone dead? Do you want the family destroyed? Do you want, like, what is it that you actually want? And when you start asking these questions, then they have to start using terms like, well, I just want justice served. Okay, what does that mean to you though? Like, what is justice to you? And that's when they start deflecting and stuff, because once again, they prove When there's an ongoing matter, it's kind of hard to know. How much do you really know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, and again, I think it comes back to a form of entertainment, because if you're not looking at it from a position of, I want everything to be, look, he's going to have to face some consequences, but I hope at the in 5 years from now, everything's better than it was as a result to all this devastating. And people are like, sweep. And I'm like, what? Well, I don't understand. What do you want? What do you want? You want like him to serve 25 years? Then his children suffer. And then like the children grow up without a father figure. It's just, there was a lot of things.
Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Why don't we admit the truth? Most of the people who are the most vehement and the loudest in the room don't have any fucking kids, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's easy for them to be like, what would you do? It's like, yeah, because you don't have kids. It's more complicated, right? And a lot of the same people who are out for bloodshed, do they even have families? Do they have friends? Because if you spend this much time in the social media world, I have news for you. You're a fucking loser. Like, if you wake up and your first thought is social media check-in, you're a fucking loser. Like, in all honesty. And here's the thing. I'm not saying I want you to be the loser. I'm saying I want you to have things in your life bigger and better than social media, bigger and better than internet drama. And Cody, I would have said that 5 years ago.
Nick makes fun of Jack Murphy.
Mhm.
And then, relatively speaking, Nick kind of did the same thing maybe as Jack Murphy. He didn't sit on a bench and like masturbate outside, but so other stuff, he kind of did something similar. Like, what is your take on that? Because I don't mind. Like, that has nothing to do with the case.
No,
but I thought it was. I think it's funny.
This is my take on any of that. I'm going to give you guys like just like life advice. If you always are who and what you are, you never have to fake anything, right? Like because people who do that tend to like get stories mixed up. They start slipping up, and they're like, that is where the self-imposed pressure comes from, right? When people talk about, I have anxiety, I have this and that. Do you know where that comes from, Cody? It's their world, like it's crashing down, right? They're sitting there, and they're like this, like, I'm gonna get exposed. I would believe that this is kind of like maybe what like like someone who's in the closet would be, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to fake being straight. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas if they just were what they were and just was like, hey, this is who I am, they would be good. If you're going to be sitting there, right, in this hypothetical, and you're going to be ragging against someone doing some certain type, but then you kind of, like I said, similar path, yeah, dude, you deserve all the smoke. You'll never hear me sit there and be like, nah, man, we need to be gentle. No, fuck being gentle, because you can't say you be gentle if someone else is a fraud, right? An outright fraud. Didn't you go hard at them, right? Isn't that kind of how your own platform is? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go after this person, right? Well, if you become that person, right? It's similar like with Harvey Dent talking about you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Well, while you're the hero, you're fighting the villain. Once you become the villain, don't be shocked that someone else is the new heroic figure to come and stop you.
Yeah.
That's what ends up happening.
Yep.
People do it themselves, man.
No, I kind of agree. And Alman John says, Drex, mad black entertainment of all people, got the nerve to be trashing Nick's situation on Rumble when he the one who threatened to ice Nick's kids. Shake my head. Actually, you know what? I said this last show, or the show before last. And look, there probably are some legit people that are concerned, but the same people that are acting and this faux outrage that children are in danger are the same people that would voluntarily get Nick swatted and put his children in danger. It's the exact same people. So the faux outrage is really gay. But I mean, and like I said, there's probably some people that are actually like outraged because they have children. I mean, we get it. But that's always the weird thing. It's like, oh, I can't believe you do this, kids. Like, what? Didn't you call a SWAT on him recently? He's like, no, yeah, but that was different.
Yeah. These are the same people that want to dox his kids, want to harm the kids, want to do things that can harm, like do things that like you said, swatting puts the kids in direct line of fire, right? Yeah. It could happen, but then I care so much about the kids. It's like I said about you. It's what I said to you earlier, Camelot. The same people who make certain allegations against me are the same ones saying, well, is Drex taking the kids? How the fuck does that make sense? Like you're not listening to these people, man, because they're fraudulent. Like these people have no life, and this is the reason why people, like I said, they want me to be a certain way. But like I said, I go, unlike all the people, this includes everyone in the chat, right? none of you know his kids personally. You see what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. I guarantee you, if the kids, showed a picture of whoever's in this chat, and then you ask, identify that person, they don't know who the you are. They know who I am.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? See the difference? I know them personally. Therefore, I'm not going to be sitting here, saying certain things that's crazy, like you said, saying that you're going to ice someone's kids, saying that you're going to, they need to be swatted. No, I know them. I know the kids. Cody, I text you. I told you. I said, in my house, that's literally barren. Just blank walls. Other than anytime my mom shows up and says, "There's no color in here," and buys a painting. The only pictures I have in my entire house of human beings is my daughter and Nick's kids. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
So, all of this rhetoric that I hear is nonsense, because none of these people know the kids. They know them as this proves the point. They know them as 5 kids. Do you ever notice that? They don't know. We're not talking about, once names got doxxed. We're saying before any names got doxxed, they said, he's got 5 kids. Who are they? What do they look like? I don't know. I do.
Says none of Nick's friends cared about his kids enough to do anything about it. Do what and know what? Do what and know what?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll address this head on. You can't come at somebody for something that they didn't know, right?
That's what I'm. That's what I'm
saying. Okay. So let me ask you this. So Cody, remember, this is all alleged, right? Shout out to Nick Rekieta, all alleged. If the cops didn't know, the people, neighbors didn't know, local people didn't, so if no one knew, God forbid, Cody, how would you know from a YouTube screen, right? There's no way you can know, right? I hadn't been there in a year almost. I didn't know. So all these people who didn't know this, right? And remember, are kids on streams, Cody? Are you like seeing like a decline in their well-being? No. You can see a decline in his well-being, but not the kids. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not on camera.
Yeah.
So if you don't see them and you don't have information, once you get information, you can react. Kind of like what I said about Joe Pa, right? Joe Pa should have done more to protect those kids. Did he know? Well, no, but he should. How was he supposed to do more? You see what I'm saying? How was he supposed to do more if he didn't even have the information? Once he got information, he can react.
Right.
I always find these people funny because, look, these are the kind of people that go like this. Yeah, and what are you doing about, insert thing, right? Like people dying over iPhones in China, right? CCP did this. What are you doing about it? Well, I didn't. Well, I saw your YouTube feed. It said that you watch videos on this topic. Why haven't you done anything? What do you want me to do? Exactly. You can only do something with the information you have and the resources you have to combat that information. I got the information, Cody, like in terms of the whole like, holy shit, dude, this is like, code red. You better get in there and intervene.
Yeah.
When I would argue most people got it. Because remember, don't get me wrong, people said things, right? Oh, Drex, man, hey, when's the last time you went over there? You should check. But you know how this works, Cody. How does life work? You're busy doing stuff until there's a something's like making you stop, like, working, doing things you're doing. You got a kid, you're doing these things. Until something makes you jump into action, you're kind of like, oh, I'm sure it's just nothing, right? Because everyone minimizes a problem.
Yeah.
Right? You work on cars, cars. How many times has someone had something break on their car, right? And they kept minimizing it. Yeah, that check engine light's been on for a while, but hey, the car runs smooth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when something busts, they're like, oh.
Right. And that's the thing is, everybody could see a decline, and people reached out here and there, but that doesn't have any, has nothing to do with children. So people were like, well, you said you were going to hold an intervention. It's like,
if I had been going over there as consistently as I was, people would have every reason to give me all the smoke. You see what I'm saying? Because like, hold up, Drex, you've been going over there consistently.
Yeah.
You saw this other couple there. Why didn't you see? Yeah, then you could come at me. But I haven't been there since July 2023.
Yeah.
So okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in person in like, oh my god,
Last time I saw him was Nashville.
Yeah, me too. That was the last one I saw him.
What